Здорово, ребят! Мы продолжаем проходить Metal Gear Solid 2. В прошлой серии нам выдали сенсор, спрей охлаждающий, чтобы обезвреживать бомбы. И нам надо обезвредить 6 бомб. В каждом секторе по одной бомбе. У Плискина то же самое задание. Но ему дали карточку 3-го уровня, с помощью которой он смог пробраться вот туда. Там точно такие же сектора. И там свои бомбы со своими какими-то... Ну, там по-своему они спрятаны. У Плискина там свой геймплей. Он нам будет рассказывать, если мы будем ему звонить, он будет рассказывать, где он находит бомбы. А это наш сектор. Тут надо нам обезвредить все бомбы. Короче, просто идем вокруг, обезвреживаем. И... Но для начала давайте позвоним, поспрашиваем, что нам могут интересного рассказать.
Stillman is safe as long as he's in there. You worry about defusing those C4s instead. The sensor you received from Stillman visualizes the C4's detected odor on the radar screen. This means that the radar must be enabled in order for you to take advantage of the sensor. Raiden, log into the node first. Strut C's node is to the northwest, in the corner of the mess hall. Make doubly sure you stay out of the enemy sight. If the radar goes offline, the sensor is useless. The C4s will become invisible to you again.
The coolant spray that you have is great for freezing the C4 set by Fat Man. After you equip the spray, you can discharge the coolant by pressing the weapon button. When the coolant is exposed to the open air, it changes into a gel and adheres to the C4 and stays at a low temperature. Spray a lot of coolant to cover the C4 and make sure that it won't melt away. This means that once you coat the C4 with this stuff, you can assume it won't explode. You've got enough there so you don't have to worry about running out. It's important to remember that once you equip yourself with the spray, you won't be able to move. If an enemy approaches while you're spraying the coolant, the best thing to do is put it away and hide. On top of dealing with the C4, you can use the spray against an enemy. Don't forget that.
Прям целый курс, как использовать спрей.
Tell me a little more about Dead Cell.
Dead Cell was a shadow unit within the SEALs organization.
Right. They handled surprise raids on vital government facilities, didn't they?
Yes. They were originally put together to check the nation's military security system. The unit was the brainchild of ex-President George Sears. Dead Cell was a secret unit positioned at the opposite end of anti-terrorist outfits such as Delta Force and SEALs.
Were they always a
group of madmen?
Yeah.
No. They got weird when Colonel Jackson, Fortune's husband, was sent to jail.
Sent to jail? For what?
Corruption. He misappropriated government funds.
Sounds like he deserved it.
That's what everybody else thought, except for the members of Dead Cell. They felt the colonel was falsely accused. Fact is, they took the case to the powers that be, but they never managed to reopen the case.
Was there any truth to their claim?
Who knows? Whatever the situation is, Dead Cell's name was tainted.
And Colonel Jackson?
He was being held at Leavenworth.
Was? Meaning he's been released?
Well, in a manner of speaking, the colonel's dead.
Oh.
Apparently, he lost the will to live and died in prison. The members of Dead Cell snapped with the loss of their leader. They underwent a radical change and became uncontrollable.
And that's why they undertook this terrorist operation.
Seems as good a reason as any.
Блин, Dead Cells, да, это типа как Foxhound в первой части, против которых мы сражались. Только здесь типа свои фрики.
Vamp is a member of Dead Cell. Born in Romania, his specialty is knives. But I guess you know that by now. When he was just a kid, he lost his family to a terrorist bomb that went off in a church they were attending. His body pierced by a crucifix, Vamp was buried under the rubble for 2 days before he was finally rescued. During those 2 days, he survived by feeding on the blood of his family to quench his thirst. That was how he acquired a taste for blood.
So that's why they call him Vamp.
No, Vamp isn't for vampire, it's because he's bisexual. Rumor has it, Vamp was the lover of Scott Dolph, the Marine Commandant who accidentally died 2 years ago. Scott Dolph was also the father of Fortune, the dead cell leader.
Fortune's old man? But Fortune and Vamp?
You noticed, eh? Not bad for a rookie.
Alright.
As you say, Vamp and Fortune are very close. Not lovers, but very close.
Friends?
No, there's more to their relationship than that.
But Vamp was her father's lover.
Would it have been better if it was with her mother?
Well,
I don't really think they care what you think. Focus on the mission.
by the way, have you ever met the guy before?
No.
But he seemed to know you.
Right. Well, No, it can't be.
What?
Nothing. I told you the Dead Cell is a group of madmen. I wouldn't take anything they say very seriously.
Да, конечно.
What do you know about that strange woman?
You mean Fortune? She's the Dead Cell leader. Her real name is Helena Dolph Jackson, known to her friends as Lady Luck.
Lady Luck?
Yeah, she got the name because bullets seemed to veer away from her in battle.
Oh.
People have heard her say that her fortune in battle was payback for the lousy luck she's had in life.
Lousy luck?
The death of her father, the Marine commander, the conviction of husband and Dead Cell leader Colonel Jackson. These events were followed by her mother's suicide, the loss of a husband, and the idea of a convict in the family apparently took her over the edge. Fortune was 3 months pregnant at the time, and the shock of her mother's death led to the loss of her child. Add to this her husband's death in prison a few months later, and to sum it up, in the 6 months after her father's death, she lost her family and everything that mattered in her life.
Jeez, she's had it rough.
Yeah, the thing is, she didn't grieve long. Instead, she joined the military.
Now why is that?
Do I look psychic? My best guess is revenge. I heard that she firmly believed that her husband was framed. Anyway, by the time she came out of basic training, she'd proven many times over that she was gifted with an unusual streak of luck. In fact, some say she sold her soul for it.
Her soul?
Her uncanny luck earned her a reputation that led to her appointment as the head of her husband's unit, Dead Cell.
Если вы не поняли, я вам поясню. Сейчас можно. У этой Фортуны умер отец 2 года назад. Потом из-за этого покончила мать с собой. И из-за этого стресса у Фортуны родился типа мертвый ребенок. То есть она потеряла вообще всех. Кто был отцом, который погиб 2 года назад? Это тот самый командир, который, когда мы играли за Снейка, стоял под Metal Gear'ом и вещал. Когда время тикало, я еще молчал, и вы слушали его речь. Этот негр, помните, в кепке? Вот, и это ее отец. Это вот чернокожий командир. И она в итоге потеряла всех. Тогда вот Снейк участвовал в тех событиях.
Fat Man. Supposedly, he's nicknamed after an atomic bomb, but to me, he's just a fat man. Something straight out of a sideshow. If he even has a bit of spare time, he spends it disassembling and assembling his Glock over and over again. He can't stand to have his hands still. He's extremely vain about his hands, keeps his fingers as slender and soft as a woman's. They say he's always looking at his hands, giving himself manicures.
Pliskin, what do you know about Stillman?
He's a bomb disposal expert, probably the best in the world.
What else?
What do you mean?
Like why he retired?
Are you here to gossip?
No.
Then get back to work defusing those C4s. If there's something you need to know about Stillman, go ask him yourself.
Pliskin, SEAL Team 10's Bravo team's been wiped out.
Is that right?
Is that all you have to say? I thought they were your comrades.
Yeah, too bad.
Too bad. Did you know they were used as a decoy to support my infiltration?
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
Man, you were cold. They were your friends.
What do you want me to say? That you killed them? Or do you want me to say it wasn't your fault?
Oh, I just...
Listen, kid, I don't have time to wet nurse you, or provide you with a shoulder to cry on. You got a problem with your conscience, you take care of it. Don't bother me.
Pliskin, you seemed pretty focused on the Navy captain. Something catch your eye?
Yeah, Remember the handcuffs were cut? There was something on the other end of that.
Do you know what it was?
Well, no. Forget it.
What do you mean, forget it?
Just what I said. Forget it. Talk to you later, kid.
Все такие на нервах.
Hey, Pliskin, were you really a SEAL?
That's what I told you.
But
But what?
nothing.
Listen, kid. You're on a mission. Thinking about anything else can get you killed. I see the old man set you up with a Sensor A unit. Aside from C4, explosives continually release their own specific particles. Based on ion mobility spectrometry technology, Sensor A is capable of detecting particle clusters. Simply put, the detector can sniff out C4. The detected C4 appears on radar as a cloud-like shape. The cloud indicates the rough location of the explosive. This sensor looks like it's been specially tuned. It's been specially modified to sniff out the signature odor of C4, combined with Fat Man's special perfume that he uses to identify his work. That's why it won't respond to any of the C4 that we've set up. Shoot a fire extinguisher.
Все, теперь он начинает просто повторять то же самое, что... Лучше я промолчу, а то это будет спойлер, неважно. Ну, в общем, теперь мы можем еще позвонить Стилману, чуваку, который спрятался. И к нам в кодек добавляется еще один персонаж.
Never mind about me. Get on with disposing of those bombs. Right. There's still C4 in the strut where you are.
Where?
All right, let me give you a hint. Look for a place that guys have never entered up to this point. A special place that guys have wanted to enter but simply couldn't. A place that you couldn't enter if the situation wasn't as such. Oh, looks like you were in there already. My.
Он намекает на то, что бомба находится там, куда парни не могут зайти, то есть в женском туалете. Но когда мы обезвредим бомбу в женском туалете, он скажет: да как так? Там не могла быть эта бомба. То есть вообще в чем логика? Он нас направляет туда, но когда мы ее обезвредим, то он скажет: вау, ну это странно, ее там быть не должно. То есть странно очень. Вот у нас теперь 4 человека. Давайте включим терминал, чтобы активировать радар. Арбузы, смотрите.
Looks like there's a lot of stuff laying about. Make sure not to scatter it around. The enemy will increase their security if they discover anything out of place.
Don't worry. I'm used to cleaning things up. Rose's room is...
Jack, don't say any more.
Fine.
Anyway, the key element of covert operations is not to leave anything behind. Understand?
Да, конечно. Смотрите. Арбузы. Кто хочет? Разбирайте. Аж сюда вылетел арбуз. Смотрите, какой плакат прикольный. Блин, вообще. На какую-то актрису знаменитую, да, похоже, вроде тех лет. Интересно. Может, скажут что-нибудь?
Raiden, I've frozen the first bomb. How are you doing?
Nothing yet.
Pliskin, what was the exact location of the explosive?
The heliport. It was behind some cargo. Thought I was gonna have some trouble with the patrols, but it was an easy job.
I see.
What's the matter?
Nothing really. Pliskin, just don't let your guard down. Don't relax even after you think you've defused it.
I know that. Raiden, Shell 1's all yours.
Sure.
Что такое Shell 1, если вы еще не поняли? Как бы вот это вот все, это Shell. Это Shell 1, а это Shell 2. Плискин бегает по Shell 2, а мы бегаем по Shell 1. Он уже обезвредил первую бомбу, а мы еще ни одной. Поэтому давайте немножко ускоримся. Сразу бежим, обезвредим бомбу. Тут вроде он лежит, смотрите. рацион питания. Смотрите, какие красивые картины висят у них. Вон мы на радаре уже видим, где именно бомба. Я вам ее уже показывал. Вот она.
Right in here. I took care of the C4 in strut C. The ceiling of the women's bathroom was set to blow.
That's not like him.
Anything wrong?
Maybe. Pliskin's reported other locations too, and none of them are effective demolition points.
What do you mean?
It means that they wouldn't be the best places to choose if you wanted to destroy this place.
Are you saying they don't plan on blowing the shell up?
It certainly seems that way. So far, we haven't seen anything but a waste of good explosives. Unless, of course, we're missing something.
A trap?
He couldn't have overlooked the fact that I would be called into this. There's something going on.
А давайте позвоним Плискину возле туалета. Что он нам скажет?
Ryden, where are you?
I...
What are you embarrassed about? You're on a mission. Anything goes.
Pliskin.
I've snuck into similar places in the past myself.
Huh?
Так, ну, смотрите. Тут мы без леди, видите, нету. Короче, идем просто по кругу. Нам выдали карточки. В первой части, чтобы открывать двери, надо было выбирать здесь карточку всегда. А теперь во второй части, как бы, новые технологии, новая приставка. Теперь двери открываются автоматически, если у нас в кармане просто лежит карточка нужного доступа. Через мост пробираемся. Следующий сектор. Вижу врага. Пока мы стрелять в них не можем. Пока не добудем глушитель или транквилизатор. Поэтому стараемся пробежать пока по-тихому. Без палева. Капец, тут у них все шаткое. Им явно нужен ремонт. Как камеру поставить, так бабки у них есть. А как пол починить? Блин, вот это вот сложный отсек. Тут очень много врагов, солдат, большая локация. Ну как много врагов? Может быть, их тут трое, но они очень легко палят. Если они меня спалят, они призовут сразу подмогу солдат с щитами. То есть такие опасные чуваки. Постараюсь быстро обезвредить бомбу, она прям подо мной. Надеюсь, меня не спалят, я быстро отсюда свалю. Вот, бомба находится у нас здесь. И быстро валим отсюда. Конечно, желательно подойти к терминалу, но он нам тут особо-то и не нужен, потому что мы знаем, где бомба. Он идет. Просто такая камера, что не видно, но я обожаю такую камеру. Она придает огромные сложности, конечно. Ну, просто все. Главное, мы бомбу обезвредили и свалили оттуда. У нас поднята тревога. Тревога пропала, но Они как бы еще на палеве. Там, где радар, тикает время, если видите. Зеленая полоска уходит. Надо подождать, пока она полностью уйдет, и мы сможем пробежать. Солдаты в броне, в шлеме, они очень мощные. Подождем, пока они уйдут, и пробежим, наконец, в новый сектор. Не знаю, как мне получится пробежать, может, меня снова спалят. Еще немного осталось. Блин, такой голос классный мужика, который озвучивает это, рацию. Так, он отвернулся, все. А, блин, он что-то не отошел. Блин, как хорошо, что я не побежал на него. Давай, чувак. Так, аккуратно, 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 аккуратно. Фух, не пришлось убивать. Разошлись, как в море корабли. Блок Е.
I don't see a lot of adequate cover in that area.
There's some cargo on those conveyor belts. That's about it.
Good thinking. Right, take cover behind the cargo on the conveyor belt. Match your movement to the belts.
Right, I'm done with one more C4. This one was in a spot so narrow, I had to crawl in to get at it.
Тут тоже есть терминал, тут тоже очень много солдат. И они все время говорят по рации, как у них дела. Если мы хотя бы одного вырубим, то поднимется тревога по-любому. Потому что они скажут, почему никто не говорит нам по рации, как у них дела. Почему они молчат и вызовут тревогу, подкрепление. Здесь тоже есть бомба, но не прямо здесь, а этажом выше. Тут коробку хорошо бы забрать. Но это так палевно, капец. Если я возьму коробку, он меня спалит. Хотя он отошел, отлично. Так проще бегать. Так еще и быстро бегает в коробке.
I've taken care of that annoying fly. What's the situation over there?
Puzzling. I saw a man dressed like a ninja just now.
Ninja?
It's the only way to describe it. A kind of cyborg ninja, complete with a sword.
What?
Are you hiding something from me?
Olga, are you sure it wasn't an arsenal Tengu?
Don't be a fool. Think I wouldn't know the difference? I've never seen field gear like that ever.
Alright, we'll intensify patrols. Anything else?
Actually, one more thing. You'll find it hard to believe, though. I saw a man hiding under a cardboard box.
Where?
On the connecting bridge to Shell 2. So you believe me this time?
I've seen someone use that box trick before. We'll lay a trap on the Shell 2 connecting bridge.
Over and out then.
Freeze! You must be one of Dead Cell.
Of course not. What a thing to say.
Drop your gun!
Not a chance.
Старая добрая Ольга. Помните, мы с ней сражались, когда играли за Снейка? И она здесь тоже запутана.
I saw a female soldier. Russian. Must be Olga Gerlukovich. How do you know? Unlike you, I've been briefed.
She's not a Dead Cell?
No, she commands a Russian private army.
They must be the ones patrolling the big shell.
That's right. She's led the group ever since her old man, Colonel Gerlukovich, died. Watch yourself with her. She's a tough one.
Так, давайте еще позвоним, может быть, что-нибудь расскажут после этой сценки.
Ryden, Stillman is a top-notch explosives technician. Follow his orders and disarm the explosives.
Okay, but exactly who is Peter Stillman?
Gotcha. I'll look him up. Hold on a moment.
Make doubly sure you stay out of the enemy's sight. If the radar goes offline, the sensor is useless. The C4s will become invisible to you again. It's possible the
Ryden, don't get yourself worked up. It's safer to take out the enemy first, then look for the bomb. Don't even think about searching for the bomb while looking over your shoulder for the enemy. Knock them unconscious or take them out altogether first.
There are still bombs in that area that haven't been disposed of. Search carefully. You won't be able to see the bombs with a quick glance. Search carefully with the first-person view. Try to look under things. Look everywhere.
Так, тут есть, да, бомба, и я знаю, где она находится. Сейчас мы быстренько ее обезвредим. Тут стоит самолет. И вот наша бомба. Прям под ним, под самолетом.
Ryden here. The C4 reported on the roof of Strut E has been taken care of. Explosives were planted on the Harrier 2 stationed on the roof.
This is all wrong. This is something only an amateur would do.
What do you mean?
All the bombs that have been found so far don't appear to be in the right kind of locations. And the quantity of explosives isn't sufficient either.
Even Fat Man can make mistakes, right?
No, there's something else going on here. Get a move on with the disposal, right? I got a bad feeling about this.
Do you think it's a trap?
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell Pliskin to watch his back too. Just hurry.
Right, that's a Harrier 2 you see over there.
That's what shot down the SEAL chopper?
That's right. Unfortunately, the weapons you have at the moment aren't up to the task of neutralizing this plane. Leave it alone for now. It's possible the
One more bomb defused. There was one I managed to find only because I took a good look at first-person view. You should try it too.
Тоже активно и мы обезвреживаем бомбы, и он на своем шейле тоже там обезвреживает бомбы. Прикольно так.
Ryden, don't ever turn your back on that Olga woman. Olga Gerlukovich, daughter of Colonel Sergei Gerlukovich, ex-GRU and former Spetsnaz commander. She's the leader of Colonel Gerlukovich's private army that's been wandering around the Big Shell. Those men were gathered by Colonel Gerlukovich. Following his death, she inherited his command and now exercises full control. Her father's name was widely respected throughout the old Soviet regime, and he was the goal of just about every military man.
Why would a respected soldier become a leader of those cutthroats?
The collapse of the Republic resulted in a lot of unemployed soldiers. Most found themselves suddenly cast out into the civilian world, hopelessly lost. The colonel took these men in. He organized a mercenary army and led his men from battle to battle in various disputed regions around the world, hoping that one day he would rebuild his homeland. Rumor has it that during the Shadow Moses incident, he planned a rendezvous with Liquid Snake's men and assist in their uprising. I assume that the revolt figured into his reconstruction plans for the Soviet regime. I also heard that Ocelot, Liquid's right-hand man, was an old friend of the Colonel's back in the old days of the Soviet Union. In any case, Olga inherited her father's military genius and has become a force to be reckoned with. She was born and raised on the battlefield, and she's as tough as she looks. Not my ideal choice for a date.
You sound like you've met her.
No, I haven't had the pleasure. Just remember what I said. Don't turn your back on her.
Сурово.
If you shoot those pipes along the ceiling or the floor,
Это просто.
Well done. It looks like there are no more bombs in that strut. Now, head for the other struts.
Ну и давайте Роуз позвоним, раз мы всем позвонили. Сохранимся.
What can I do for you, Jack?
По идее, тоже должна что-нибудь интересное рассказать после всяких сцен и диалогов.
Jack, it must be so nerve-wracking to defuse a bomb.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, that was a stupid thing to say. Sorry.
That's all right. It's just that I've never been trained in this stuff.
You okay? Are you feeling well?
I almost threw up a few times.
Oh, Jack.
But I'm okay. It's not like I'm in this alone.
Oh, yeah, that's true. What do you think about when you're diffusing those things?
I don't think so much as remember, and I know that I need to resist that and keep my mind blank. I can't let myself be overwhelmed by the fear.
So, am I a part of what you try not to remember? I was just kidding. But I guess this isn't a good time for that.
No, it is. And I do think about you. I'm trying to remember what's so special about April 30th.
Any success?
No, not yet.
You need to stay alive so you can.
Okay, that's a deal.
Да, прикольно, столько диалогов. Блин, вот жалко, нет больше такой игры, похожей на Metal Gear. Мне реально становится грустно, когда я понимаю, что я пройду вторую часть, затем четвертую, и как бы все. Ну, есть, правда, еще Peace Walker, но я не знаю, там есть такой кодек или нет. Я говорю именно с той позиции, что нет такой игры, как вот, чтобы все время звонить, там, помимо игры какой-нибудь, да, вот, интересной, которая внутри происходит, так помимо нее, чтобы еще диалоги такие вот по кодеку были всякие, звонишь, слушаешь, как бы погружаешься в эти диалоги, в эти отношения между персонажами, которые длятся еще с прошлых частей. Не знаю, это все-таки интересно. Но, к сожалению, вот вышла еще пятая часть Metal Gear, а там вообще кодек убрали. На самом деле очень грустно без кодека. Я когда это осознал, когда я в пятый Metal Gear играл, и когда я осознал, что там нету кодека, вот такого классического, я так сильно расстроился. Они вместо кодека добавили просто обычные диалоги, как в любой игре. Блин, лучше бы любая игра позаимствовала идею кодека, чем просто вот такие вот диалоги сухие добавлять. Не знаю, я дико расстроился, конечно.
Be careful, there are Claymore mines around there.
Who is this?
Stealth-equipped Claymore mines, invisible to the naked eye. Use the mine detector.
Identify yourself.
Just call me Deep Throat.
Deep Throat? You mean from Shadow Moses?
Mr. X, then.
Mr. X now, is it? Why would it matter if I called you Deep Throat?
Never mind about that.
Why did you contact me?
Let's just say I'm one of your fans.
Colonel, someone calling himself Mr. X just contacted me. Do you know anything about it?
No. And whoever it wasn't a burst transmission. The transmission was sent from within the big shell.
He called himself Deep Throat at first. Do you think...
I caught that part too. But the possibility of it being true is none. Gray Fox was the one who used that alias in Shadow Moses, and he's dead.
Is it an enemy trap?
Could be. Exercise extreme caution.
Воу, да? Сначала мы встречаем Ольгу, которая говорит, что видела ниндзю. А теперь нам звонит сам... Кто это? Грей Фокс? Он жив? Но как?
It's possible that...
Окей, допустим. Так, он не просто к нам позвонил, он сказал, что здесь заминирован мост. Он сказал использовать минодетектор, но у нас его нету. Я его, похоже, где-то пропустил. Не знаю, но мины можно подбирать лежа. Ну, отлично. Меня спалили. А они не подорвутся на своих минах? Я одну поднял. Они стреляют по мне. Жесть. Вот тут я попал в засаду. Обстреляли меня со всех сторон. Жесть. Попал в засаду. Так, ну пусть меня тут завалят, меня сохранили.
Right, what's wrong? Right, right.
Уберем панику. Меня сохранили. Итак, мы попали в склад F. Здесь, наконец-таки, я могу найти транквилизатор-пистолет. Наконец-то я могу стрелять. Ну, надо сейчас подобрать его. И я могу найти тут глушитель для пистолета с соком. Только вот сейчас, к этому моменту, играя на нормале, мы можем обзавестись пистолетом. И хоть какой-то... Как-то можем хотя бы им противостоять. А то до этого мы просто бегали и получали по полной. Тут тоже много врагов. Они ходят, все время по рации объявляют, спокойно ли у них или нет. Вон он идет. А, он палит меня. Он спалил меня. Фига незрячий, блин. Я не помню, правда, пистолет и глушитель на каком этаже, на первом или на втором. Видите, тут можно спускаться и подниматься. Много тоже тут очень дверей, тут целый склад. Он стоит. О, он идет ко мне. Черт. Их двое здесь. Все, спрячемся. Там облава. Там показывают, как они заходят в комнату, меня ищут. А я в вентиляцию залез. Но я не зря тут лезу. Я сейчас найду, наконец, глушитель для сокума. И смогу, наконец-таки, им ставить хедшоты и стрелять в них. Глушитель, вот он. Чтобы поставить глушитель, надо его выбрать сначала. И взять пистолет. Вот как выглядит мой соком. И ставим глушитель. Теперь он выглядит вот так вот, смотрите, прикольно, да? Все, наконец-таки мы можем стрелять, не опасаясь того, что поднимут тревогу. Вот, кажется, миноискатель, да. И где-то здесь еще транквилизатор надо найти, это все вот здесь же где-то находится. Не помню, где точно, сейчас мы... Нет, тут почему-то нет, видимо, какой-то другой двери. Тут сейчас... Тревога пройдет. Немножко времени потерпеть. А, тут можно заодно терминал сейчас включить. Сейчас тоже включим его. Мы сейчас сможем хотя бы видеть, где они ходят. Их расположение врагов. Вот, отлично. Да. Четко, да? И здесь тоже еще и бомбу надо обезвредить, кстати говоря. Все, мне их вообще не жаль. Теперь быстро ищу. По-моему, на втором этаже. Я тут, по-моему, все осмотрел. На втором этаже лежит транквилизатор, который нам тоже, не знаю, пригодится или нет, но забрать надо. Потому что если в пистолете у нас на сокуме закончатся патроны, то возьмем М9 уже. Кровище столько на стене. По идее, где-то здесь. М9 есть. Там палево поднимается. И вот наша бомба. Спросим, как дела у нашего Плискина.
Everything's going smoothly over here. I just finished defusing another C4.
Вы тоже.
For some reason, there was one planted on an enemy soldier's back.
На спине. Прикиньте, какой у него геймплей там происходит. Если бы мы играли за Плискина, нам бы пришлось у солдата на спине искать бомбу. Гады, они спалили труп. У нас осталось 2 бомбы. Все, надо идти в следующий сектор. Просто как можно быстрее сейчас пробегаем. Блин, они где-то здесь. Не меня ищут. Попробую пробежать. Блин, палят меня. Блин, а. Хрен с вами. На мосту можно очень быстро переиграть, если что. Главное, что мы добыли пистолет и глушитель. Фига, кулаком меня остановил. Злодей. Ладно, давайте переиграем здесь, наверное. Но дальше с палевом идти неинтересно. Пусть уже жизни моей кончится. Хотя я могу сам закончить эти страдания. До свидания. А, это Плискин только что говорил. Райден. Прям сдружились.
Jack, do you remember the day we met?
I'm kind of busy right now, Rose.
You're right, sorry.
I do remember. It was right after I transferred to New York. There were all these tourists around you in front of the Federal Hall.
A group of middle-aged Japanese ladies came up and asked me which building it was that King Kong was climbing in the movie. I said it was probably the Chrysler building. And then you showed up and started mouthing off. You were like, no, it's the Empire State.
I said the Chrysler building was in Godzilla.
We started arguing and I forgot all about the tourists. I was insisting that I was right and you were doing the same. The next thing we knew, the Japanese women had gone away, and we ended up going to the skyscraper museum to see who had the better recall.
We argued all the way to Battery Park.
And for nothing.
Since the museum was closed, we went our separate ways from the museum. And then I found you again by coincidence out in the base corridor.
An amazing coincidence that we were actually working at the same place.
That night we went up to the top of the Empire State.
It was so beautiful. I could look down on the Chrysler building from 120 stories above ground.
I felt overwhelmed. I didn't care anymore who was right.
And that was our first date.
We watched King Kong in your apartment a bunch of times that night. Didn't sleep till morning. If it weren't for that coincidence, we wouldn't be together.
I know. I'm sorry, Jack. I'm taking up your time again.
What?
Take care.
Блин, просто типичное поведение девушки.
The Cypher is a type of unmanned surveillance craft. It will alert the patrols upon discovering an intruder. If you're spotted by one, the reinforcements will come running.
What you see flying before you is a Cypher. It's a saucer-type UAV for surveillance and communication support of land and marine operations. It may look strange, but it's very stable. The Cypher is capable of vertical takeoffs and landings in tight areas measuring as small as 3.5 meters. Also, it features a fully autonomous system that allows for tracking and analysis of man-sized targets. You can confuse the Cypher's sensors with chaff. This not only blocks its movement, but also prevents data transmission to its controller.
It appears that Fat Man placed bombs within each of the struts. It's likely there are no bombs planted on the connecting bridges. Head for the struts for which you have not yet finished disposing of the C4.
Да, нам говорят про Сайфер, который здесь летает. Нам говорят, что можно Сайфер обезвредить гранатой. Но я предпочитаю теперь их всех уничтожать с пистолета с глушителем. Вот он подлетает, вот Сайфер. Это камера летающая. Все, больше она мне не помешает. И гранаты останутся целыми. Уж лучше патроны потратить, чем гранаты. И врага с такого вот огромного расстояния я смог застрелить. Геймплей становится с пистолетом с глушителем гораздо проще. Трупик. Смотрите, какой красивый. И нам осталось обезвредить 2 бомбы. Насосная станция. Да, я помню, где тут бомба.
Freeze!
Ништяк. То есть все, пошли по мясу жестко. Здесь довольно-таки запутанная локация, когда играешь здесь впервые, тут можно долго пролазить, потому что из-за камеры непонятно, где можно пролезть, а где нельзя. Где-то трубы высоко расположены, где-то низко, и приходится часто использовать вид от первого лица. Но когда уже знаешь, то становится чуть проще. Тут есть красная труба, вот надо под ней.
No one's going to leave a bomb in a place that easy to reach. It would be more worthwhile to search convoluted areas that can't be reached simply by walking.
Такой капитан очевидность позвонил. Вот она, наша бомба. Я знаю.
This is Ryden. The C4 found in strut A has been frozen and disposed of. Explosives were planted in the pump room on the first floor.
Good work. Only one more left to go.
This is Pliskin. Do you read me, Pete?
I'm here. What's up?
Ryden, you need to hear this too.
I'm listening.
I checked out the bottom of strut H for you, Pete.
Wait, what's this about?
I asked Pliskin to look around. Knowing Fat Man, I can't shake the feeling that all the bombs so far were just wrong.
So did you find anything?
Yeah, a hell of a lot of C4s packed into the bottom of the strut. Pete called it right.
I knew he had the real thing up his sleeve.
So all the other ones were dummies?
No, they're a threat, all right. But the detonation wouldn't be enough to destroy the entire shell. But the C4s Pliskin found would inflict serious structural damage.
That's not the bad news either. These are sensor-proof.
What?
New model, I guess. The ionization sensor can't detect them. The whole thing is sealed tight to prevent vapor leak, and there's no trace of that cologne signature. Pete, looks like he fooled you.
Yes.
But you managed to find the thing anyway.
It was sheer luck.
Bombs that are invisible to the sensor?
Any ideas, Pete?
Are there more out there?
I'll go see for myself.
You can't move fast enough.
He's right. I can try the spray from a distance.
Hold on. There's something not right about this one. I can feel it.
Well, Pete, should I come back and get you?
No, there's no need. Ryden, you have one left to go, correct?
Right, except for those scentless ones.
How about you, Pliskin?
I have 2 left, not counting this one.
Okay. It'll have to be me. I have the level 4 card that'll get me into Shell 2 in any case.
You'll never make it. With that bad leg of yours, they'll spot you for sure.
That won't happen. I can walk just fine. I can even run.
What do you mean?
That bomb 5 years ago, I messed up. Even with all my experience, I lost it. And the church was lost in the explosion. All those kids playing nearby too. These past 5 years, I've lived a lie.
Lied?
Yes, lied. I didn't lose my leg in the explosion. So many dead. All because of my mistake. All I could think about was hiding from the crime, shielding myself from the public outcry. I wanted people to be sorry for me, for my weakness. I faked being a victim myself because I couldn't bear to face the families of the real victims. This is no prosthetic. I can keep my footing on catwalks and hike over deserts. I lived my life so well I haven't even answered to myself for my sins. It was supposed to be a shield, and it's become a shroud instead. I've killed my soul by playing the victim. Instead of protecting me, it's made my life even more hellish.
What good can that do the victims?
I know. I'm a coward.
Hey, Pete.
God forgive me. I can walk with my own 2 feet, and I need them to stop Fat Man. His crimes are also mine. One of omission and arrogance. No one should teach the skills I taught him without a clear conscience. This is the only way I can diffuse my own sins.
I get you, Pete. That one's all yours. You got it, Ryden?
I understand.
Pete, I've taken care of guards in struts G and H of Shell 2. I wouldn't recommend you go into any of the other struts.
I owe you one.
I'll get back to freezing the baby bombs then.
You do that too, Ryden.
I'm on it.
I'll have the radio with me if you need to get in touch. Just don't ask for Peg Leg Peter. He's gone for good.
Интересная история у него. Оказалось, каждый персонаж, которого мы встречаем, с которым мы общаемся, он имеет под собой очень большой бэкграунд истории. Кто бы это ни был, будь то Ольга, будь то, я не знаю, просто возьмите любого персонажа. Мне вот просто Ольга пришла на ум, но она тоже имеет... Та же самая Фортуна, тот же самый Вамп, я не знаю. То есть они... Вот что мне нравится, что в Metal Gear, если есть какой-то персонаж присутствует, он обязательно под собой имеет какую-то историю трогательную. И это позволяет погрузиться как бы глубже. Ты начинаешь проникаться в эту игру и понимать, как бы, из чего состоят эти персонажи. Так, я иду правильно? Вроде бы сюда, да? Угу. Все, осталась последняя бомба, которую мы видим. Но, как мы поняли, есть еще невидимые бомбы. Мы их видим благодаря тому, что в них есть парфюм, запах. того чувака, который раскладывает эти бомбы. Но оказывается, есть еще бомбы, которые так просто не найти. У них нет ни запаха, ничего. Только вслепую можно обнаружить. А, да ладно.
Right, what's going on? Right, right.
Я не люблю бегать по картам, когда меня палят. Слишком много тогда пропускается. Многие диалоги могут не всплыть там, ну, лучше по-тихому проходить. Чтобы не было тревоги. Мы тут уже проходили. По сути, мы, получается, сделали целый круг. Прошлую часть мы начали буквально на этом же месте. Кодзима придумал такую карту, что можно вокруг просто оббегать. Такой бэктрекинг, да, называется. Когда создатель заставляет по много раз проходить по одним и тем же локациям. Но мы не просто так по ним проходим, мы как бы по сюжету двигаемся. И когда проходишь по одним и тем же локациям, всегда есть надежда на то, что ты заметишь что-то, что не увидел в первый раз, или как локации изменились, что на них теперь происходит. Если создатель делает такие приколы, то тогда интересно возвращаться в старые локации. Тут все так в крови, тут вамп морских котиков, помните, завалил. В первой части был похожий коридор, где Грей Фокс разрезал солдат на части, тоже помните?
Freeze, huh?
Ну и мы тоже добавим немного крови. Там тоже чел один ходит. Сейчас мы его обхитрим.
Freeze.
Отлично, обожаю ставить хедшоты. А, у меня экран в крови. А, мне в глаз попала чужая кровь. И вот последняя бомба в нашем шеле.
I have the last C4 frozen. There's nothing showing up on the sensor now.
Good work, Raiden.
You're way ahead of me, kid. I still have one to go.
How's your bomb, Peter?
It's a bomb, all right. Sealed C4 and in huge quantities.
You think there's another one in Shell 1?
For sure. Somewhere at the bottom of Strut A.
Why are you so certain?
If this bottom section of the strut is demolished, Shell 2 will be well on its way to destruction.
You mean that Shell 2 will actually sink?
Not immediately. There'll still be 5 struts left. But if Shell 1 loses a strut at the same time, it'll be a very different story. The big shell's structural integrity depends on a very exact balance. If both shells lose a strut each, the whole structure will tear itself apart under its own weight.
What do we do?
I have a sensor that can locate even those scentless C4s. It makes combined use of a neutron scintillator and a hydrogen bomb detector.
You brought that stuff with you?
Of course, I made the calibrations while I was in the pantry.
Does it work?
I just tested it, and it definitely responds. But the best I can do is a sound beacon, not the radar.
Sound?
The shorter the interval between beacons, the closer the target.
I get you.
There's another one in that pantry I was in. You can go back and get it.
It's all yours, Raiden.
I'm going to study it some more and see if the freezing process will work. Don't touch the other one until I say so.
Okay. I'll stand by until you radio in.
Нам нужно вернуться, где мы познакомились с этим Стилманом, и взять там новый сенсор. Давайте позвоним всем, сохранимся и начнем новую часть.
That's a transformer board over there. You can open and close. That's a transform.
И все?
That's a trans.
Ах ты ленивый полковник.
Raiden, go pick up that sensor for odorless C4s. It should be in that room in Strut C where you found Pete. You've got rations. Rations are military food provisions capable of life recovery. Select a ration in the menu display and press the confirmation button for life recovery. If you equip yourself with rations, you can automatically recover life the moment it hits 0. Field rations are not just emergency food. For a soldier, it's a vital factor in maintaining combat efficiency. Rations are the result of concentrated research and development efforts on the part of the U.S. military's cooking laboratory. Together with calories, meticulous attention is focused on balanced nutrition. Freeze-dried, the rations are easy to carry and keep well. It ain't home cooking, but it'll satisfy your nutritional needs. What's on your mind?
Well, just between you and me,
Sure. What is it?
I prefer rations over Rose's home cooking.
That bad, huh? To throw something, such as
Бедная Роуз.
Right. I've readied a sensor that...
Ну и давайте сохранимся.
Jack, is that you?
Хотя я хочу лучше сохраниться в новой локации. А то тут непонятно, откуда я потом начну. Сейчас. Хотя бы на мосту сохраниться. Чтобы конкретно вот здесь же и потом продолжить отсюда.
What can I do for you, Jack? I can't believe it. Stillman's prosthetic leg was all a big lie.
Don't be too hard on him, Rose.
But he's got no right to go around pretending he's got a prosthetic leg. That's an insult to people who really can't walk.
Everyone's got their own reasons. Sometimes you've got no choice but to lie.
You're right. I guess it is necessary sometimes.
Rose?
It's nothing. Well, see ya.
Ну что ж, ребят, увидимся. Если вы смотрите, пожалуйста, поставьте лайк в поддержку видео. Спасибо. Увидимся в новой части.